Finally tonight, as the One Bahamas celebrations draw near, a Bahamian has written a poem which he hopes will unite us all. And today, writer Pedro Smith of Smith's Pest Control shared it with us.
I have a dream for our Bahamas. A Bahamas where there'll be no disloyalty, but sincerity. A Bahamas where there'll be no dishonesty, but trust. A Bahamas where there'll be no injustice, but fairness. A Bahamas where there'll be no hatred, but love. A Bahamas where there'll be no degrading of one another, but respect for each other. A Bahamas where we not be divided by our belief or our differences, but united together as Bahamians in our Bahamas. This is my dream for our Bahamas. This dream can become a reality too, only when we become the generation to lead by example. It is my hope and belief that this dream would one day become a reality in our Bahamas, as did Dr. Martin Luther King's dream in America and President Nelson's dream in South Africa.
It is hoped that the poem will become reality, thereby uniting us all.
Now it's a time of sharing. And coming to share with us is none other than Mr. Smith. Welcome him as he comes, please.
Morning, Yellow Alder Primary School. I am extremely happy to be here this morning, knowing that this morning is a very special day in our country, the celebration of a one Bahamas, one people, and one God. With me this morning, I have my father, Mr. Cyril Smith, which is stands for Dad. He's a very, very special man in my life. And next to him is a very special man in my life also, who have given me the opportunity to become very involved with the youth by his example. His name is Mr. Roy Davis. He has been involved with the youth in our country for more years than I am alive, and I'm 30 years old. Mr. Roy Davis, would you kindly stand, please? This morning that the principal of your school, Mrs. Miller, and the staff at this school, certainly a month ago, given me the opportunity to have my drain point inserted on a plant in your schoolyard. Definitely yellow alder, and definitely the principal of this school envisioned the importance of a One Bahamas. So let's give all of these teachers and principals a round of applause. I also want to say to you students how very proud I am to see how well behaved each and every one of you were this morning, and how very good those kids were. Let's give those kids who participated in those kids a round of applause. I am very, very, very happy to say to you this morning, as I got up this morning, I thought about how important One Bahamas meant, and how important it will continue to mean in our country. And I say this morning One Bahamas. What does it mean? One people, one God. My dream is to bring about this one Bahamas in our country. This is a task that I purposely feel God has given me. Also you, the students of Yellow Elder Primary School. And having given my dream and dedicated it to this school, it is to be assured that Yellow Elder students would lead by example and bring it about a one Bahamas in our country. I am going to live my dream by example, so you can follow by my example. This was the way that Christ taught his apostles. I believe that Yellow Elder have the leaders of every profession in our future Bahamas. You see, the day when I came here, I have recognized that all of you here today are going to be leaders in our country. And I want you to know that this is my charge for Yellow Elder Primary School, to be the best carpenter, to be the best teacher, to be the best magician, to be the minister of whatever religion. I want to ensure that the plaque ceremony in this schoolyard a month ago, that what you have said with me, and you all understood that not just reading that plaque is not there just to read, but it's also to live every word. It's the power today. It's not the word that we speak, but it's that we live by what we speak. That is the task. That is the charge for Yellow Elder Primary School, to be a leader amongst all primary schools in our country.
Finally tonight, a local poet, Pedro Smith, on news of the passing of the late Sir Kendall Isaacs, says that he was so moved that he thought it only fitting to pay tribute to a man whom he regarded as a national hero with the words of this poem.
Also the medic here.
Sir Kendall Isaac, I was a part of the greatest experience of my life, the funeral service of Sir Kendall Isaac. I watched and listened, feeling sadness, joy, and pride, understanding that one who is among us lived his purpose, God's divine purpose, during his time on earth. Whether we realize it or not, he knew and understood the awesome task and responsibility to leave the country a better place because he had lived, as the great master has taught us by his example. My heart goes out to Lady Isaac, family, friends, and the Bahamas for losing such a great, compassionate, humble, ordinary hero of a man. To God be the glory. Shine on, my dear brother, Sir Kendall Isaac, over all Bahamas. Our star, great shining star, Sir Kendall Isaac. I am committed to follow and try to travel that challenging, rewarding road until I meet my Maker.
People are criticizing me, and I get a bit down. I say, man, thank God. Suppose I was Lyndon Pindling. Because you measure everything by this man and the majestic and dignified way that he was able to take all these blows. As Mother Pratt said in the House of Assembly, you never know when he has his success, and you never know when he has his adversity. Even in victory and in defeat, he is the same man. And so we give him credit for that too. Now I want Pedro Smith. Pedro Smith is a young man who called me up on the telephone, and he told me he had written a poem for Sir Lyndon. And we're going to present this. We're going to present this to Sir Lyndon. But this young man was so anxious to have the opportunity to read this poem to you, our supporters, and then to present this poem to his leader. And so it is the simple expressions of the ordinary man and the ordinary woman in their love and affection for Sir Lyndon that we are going to recognize, and we're going to have Pedro come forth. We're going to have Pedro now read this poem.
Good evening, former Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Sir Lyndon Pindling and Lady Pindling, Leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, Honorable Perry Christie and Mrs. Christie, Deputy Leader, Mrs. Cynthia Pratt and Mr. Pratt, Members of Parliament, Members of the Senate and Party Chairman, Members of the clergy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, distinguished guests. I have been given the greatest opportunity in one's lifetime to be a part of this most historical day in the history of the Bahamas. Many are called, but only a few are chosen to lead, serve, and leave an unforgettable accomplishment in our time in history. It is no doubt that there would never be another Prime Minister to serve our Bahamas for 25 years. The Lord walked with Sir Lyndon Pindling in bringing about first majority rule of a black government in a majority black country. The vision to bring about independence was a mission accomplished with the guidance and blessing for our nation by God and Sir Lyndon Pindling being his instrument. Today, as a young Bahamian, I am proud to be a Bahamian. I pay tribute to Sir Lyndon Pindling, father of our nation. When everyone doubted to change the wrong, he was the chosen champion to be David against Goliath, the UBP government. With courage, persistence, and also dedication, he wants the heart of the majority of Bahamians to trot and blaze a new era in Bahamian history. Black bankers, pilots, governor generals, House Speaker, and Prime Minister. A change that every Bahamian have benefited from, including our Prime Minister today. So I say to the father of our nation, who has impacted the Bahamas beyond our imagination from generation to generation. It is significant that your retirement from public life comes only 2 days before our 24th anniversary, which you are the father of our nation. You have served your country well. May you, your family, and your friends enjoy the new life, your retirement from frontline politics. God bless our father of the nation, Sir Lyndon Oscar Pindling, and his family. Today, as a Bahamian citizen of the Bahamas, I feel honored, grateful, and happy to be able to make this special, significant presentation to our father of the nation, Sir Lyndon Pindling, whose political party, the Progressive Liberal Party, liberated the Bahamas for every Bahamian to be treated equally throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you for your invaluable contribution to our Bahamas, Sir Lyndon Oscar Pindling, our Bahamas national hero and father. Thank you. Good evening.
Just before the leader speaks, Pedro Smith would like to make a presentation on behalf of all young Bahamians. Ladies and gentlemen, how
44 years ago, 44 years ago, I joined the Progressive Liberal Party and started a journey with you, the people of the Bahamas. That journey comes to an official end tonight, but it does not come to an end.